Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for one of my favourite Hondas of all time. This is a Honda Accord 2.4 Executive, and it's the automatic version. This particular car's registered BN55KZZ, and mileage at the start of the road test is 67,803 miles. The reason we do the road tests, as I say in all of them, we just want customers to see the cars they're potentially looking to buy actually in operation on the same roads you'll come and test drive the road on, the car on rather. It can be very frustrating, we know that, if you go and see a car only to find out that there's a fundamental problem with the car, a warning light or a mechanical issue which you clearly should have been told about before setting off, and not everybody does. So hence that's why we do it. It's sort of, warts and all, so if there's something not right on the car, you do get to know about it. Very brief background to this car, as you'll probably know from the advert. It's been fantastically well serviced by Honda throughout its life. We've just serviced the vehicle ourselves this morning, so it's completely up to date. But I'll be brutally honest, the very second you drive this car, you'll know and feel where that money's been invested, because it just drives unbelievably well. But I'll put some sort of meat on the bones for you. Engine, I'll talk about more in detail a bit later on, but in essence, starts absolutely instantly. The oil that came out was really clear actually, but it hardly needed changing, but I did it anyway. But it starts, it runs perfectly. There's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car, apart from a low fuel light, which I'll attend to in due course. But it just pulls beautifully, absolutely beautifully. It's a perfect example of a great engine. Engine then feeds through into the Honda automatic gearbox, very smooth shifting gearbox, feels tight, crisp in its gear changes. There's no delays, no clunks, no thumps, nothing at all. Not that you'd expect it on an Accord gearbox, but it's worth noting. Gearbox can be used in a kind of a manual mode setting, so if you pull the gearbox across to the right hand side and go gear lever right, it'll select whatever its gear it should be in on the dashboard there. If I just pull the gear lever back, I can change gears, pull it back again, second gear there. So if you imagine, it's really good actually. If you're in a position where you want to overtake something, but you're worried the gearbox might change up halfway through the manoeuvre, you can control the gears perfectly, and it's a really good thing to use. But it all works exactly as it should. Worth pointing out that temperature gauge is running about a third on the gauge there, which is exactly where it wants to be on the car, so that's all perfectly good. Steering of the car is crisp, tight, vibration free. There's no horrible kind of wheel wobbles coming back through at any speeds, but it's a wonderful power steering system. Track's absolutely bullet straight as well. Shouldn't do that going around a corner really, but there you go. Not the cleverest thing I've ever done in my life. But yeah, track's bullet straight, so no vibrations at all. But it's it is one of the very best steering systems you'll ever come across. Not just in terms of it's tight, it's really well maintained, but the precision of the steering, the weighting of it, the feedback you get is of a different generation. Most modern cars now are electric power steering, which I don't particularly like, but this is just a fantastic power steering setup, and there's no play in it, no wear in it that I can feel at all. Likewise, the suspension of the vehicle, no clonks, no bangs, no thuds, no nothing. Tight, smooth riding. I think Honda got this car in pretty much every way exactly right. It's got the perfect combination of ride and handling, as far as I can understand, or certainly to me. It's just the way it rides really beautifully. It's very controlled. It's got a kind of a firmness without being in any way jarring. So when you go over bumps like these, they're there, but it just rides them. The damping quality is astonishingly good. but what it doesn't lose is precision. You know, I've driven one of these cars around Castle Combe racetrack, so I know what they're like at the limit, and it is a really, really impressive car. You know, and you know, the steering complements it absolutely beautifully. The weighting and the ratio, the speed of the steering is exactly right and works. It really is in harmony with the chassis. It's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant car. Brakes on the car, by the way, nice solid brake pedal. They all look really good when we did the pre-delivery inspection this morning, so that doesn't come as any surprise at all. It just gets up to speed just wonderfully well. Just check the cruise control, that's all working perfectly, of course, on the car. But the engine just sings, it really sings. You know, you'd never believe it was a 4-cylinder, you know, because of the lack of vibration, the smoothness of it, the sound it makes is really wonderful. And it builds momentum throughout the rev range. It's got plenty of low down torque, contrary to, you know, a lot of Honda VTEC engines which rely on the revs to really pile on the power at the top end. This has got that as well, but it's got real genuine low down lugging power, so you know, low revs all the way through, but it just sings through to the red line. It's a brilliant unit, on top of which, you know, it's by a country mile the most reliable engine in this class. You know, you can compare it to any car of any manufacturer and it'll beat them all, not just in terms of reliability but durability as well. They last a very long time. Hundreds of thousands of miles is quite common on them. But it's a, you know, as I said, a wonderful, wonderful car. Coming back to the, you know, the other sort of fundamental bits, it's very quiet in here. That suggests that kind of sunroof seals, windscreen seal, door seals are all in good order, so there's no annoying wind hiss. Looking inside the car, it's been kept in absolutely beautiful condition. You know, it's not a new car, far from it. You know, it's over 10 years old now, but goodness me, you know, the quality of construction is amazing. There's not a hint of a squeak or a buzz or trim rattle from inside the car, and the whole thing feels solid. It feels, you know, cliched, but as close to new as you'll ever expect any car to be. Just, you know, anyone who comes to test drive the vehicle with intention to buy it will remember this part of the video, because it really does feel a very solid, tight car. Obviously, looking around inside the car, we've got fully functional sat nav, air conditioning pumps out absolutely ice cold air, heated seats, warm your bottom up beautifully well. Dashboard, all the pixelation on all the readouts exactly as they should be, and it's a good, simple, classic Honda dashboard. You know, just the information you need is what's supplied, and it supplies it really clearly and really well. But all the switches, all the switch gear, everything works exactly as intended. It really has been, you know, as I said, you know, whoever's had the cars invested in this vehicle in terms of its maintenance. And as I said early on in the test drive, it's so obvious. But I suppose the question is, you know, if you've had one of these and you come in to buy it, you know what you're getting. You're getting, you know, as I said, I firmly believe this is the best car in its class by a mile for a whole host of reasons. You know, if you're looking at a Mondeo or a Vectra, they're not the same quality. Looking at Passat, nowhere near the same quality, and nowhere near the same driver enjoyment that you get from the car. It's only, you've got to be looking realistically at Audi, BMW, Mercedes, but this kicks an Audi into touch, kicks a Mercedes into touch in terms of driver involvement and reliability. The only car out of all of those which I would say was, you know, similar in some ways would be a 3 Series. You know, it's got the advantage of rear-wheel drive balance, and it is an advantage in all honesty, but you've got to sorry, completely sidetracked there. You've got to take into account running costs of the vehicle, and you know, this is for the same amount of money you're getting, you know, a huge specification, absolutely bomb-proof reliability, which would count for nothing if the car didn't drive well. But I have to say that across all road surfaces, this is a better car. It is simply a better car. A 3 Series down this road, and I've driven plenty of them on exactly this section just there, they rattle your brain. They really do. They're too hard. The suspension is fussy, so if it you know, if it's slightly out of kilter, they chew their tyres up. It's just a car which is more difficult to keep on top of than the Accord. It's as simple as that. You know, I knew when I started this video I'd go, I love these cars. I absolutely love them. If, however, and it is possible, I've missed out something on the video, obviously don't hesitate, please do give us a call and we'll happily answer any questions you might have about the car.